Emoja is still working on this Erlong. Baka rotates in. We're going to go ahead and ult. We're trying to focus on the Erlong. We're able to get the pick. Bakasaur ults us. We're going to dash out. We are in our offensive stance. The second we can switch into our movement speed stance, we will be set. We switch, and now we're out. What a do, skibbity boo, it's your boy SeanyB Gaming, and today we have a viewer request to play Amaterasu solo. If you are new to the channel, I upload 6 to 7 times a week. I add some commentary to a game that I've already played with the intention of seeing what went right and what went wrong, and hopefully there's something that we can learn together. If you are a returning viewer, I believe the original request was an Amaterasu Berserker shield, but we'll kind of get into why that didn't happen this game in just a second. So let's go ahead and review Amaterasu's abilities, that way we are on the same page. Amaterasu's 1, she's going to be able to switch stances. Whenever she switches stances, she's going to heal herself every second for 4 seconds. The heal is going to be 15 per tick at level 1 and 55 per tick at level 5. She has 2 stances. She has her Valor Aura stance, which is going to provide bonus power. At level 1 it provides 10 bonus power, at level 5 it provides 30 bonus power. And then she has her movement speed stance, which is 5% movement speed at level 1 and 21% movement speed at level 5. Amaterasu's second ability, Heavenly Reflection. She's going to begin charging her mirror. While she is charging her mirror, she's going to take reduced damage. The self-damage mitigation is 3% at level 1, 15% at level 5. As she damages enemies with her basic attack, or if she takes damage, her mirror is going to charge. If it is fully charged, it can deal up to twice as much damage as the base damage from the mirror. So the mirror damage is 70 at level 1, 210 at level 5, and then the full charge is 140 up to 420 at level 5. This is going to be the ability we want to put our first point into, and it's also going to be the ability we want to level up first. We're going to dash through the wave, we're going to use our 2 onto the wave, and then we're going to make a play for the Totem of Q. We'll get into the abilities in just a second. We are bopping with this Erlong. We're going to make our way over to the Totem. It looks like Erlong decided to leave the minion wave and come over here and engage on me. We are charging our shield. We get our shield off onto the Erlong, but he is melting us, so we're going to fall back. He has a pretty strong advantage right here, so we are going to be playing pretty defensive. He gets the knockup. We get our shield off. We're going to fall back. Oh no. We make it out. Now we are going to be sitting under tower for a while, because Erlong Shen has pretty strong early game pressure just as a character himself. And then if you were to compare my start and his start, I started with the Warrior's Blessing and the tier 1 version of boots. He started with Warrior's Blessing and got the tier 1 of Void Shield or Gladiator Shield, so he's starting off with some physical protections and a little bit of power, I believe, whereas I only have the Warrior's Blessing and then a small amount of movement speed from the boots. So right now, he will win the trades because of his build and because of the character matchup. Amaterasu does not have the strongest early game, whereas Erlong Shen has a pretty strong earlier game. Looks like he's going to be going for Totem of Q, so we're going to be focusing on the minion waves. Amaterasu's third ability, she's going to dash forward and she's going to silence enemies. This ability is really good in matchups like Bellona, where Bellona has to charge up her 2. If you can use your 3 while she's trying to use her 2, you can silence her out of it and ruin her ability. Erlong Shen, we could silence him out of his dash, but that's kind of the only ability that we could really silence him out of. We are going to make our way to our blue. We missed the XP. Our jungler was able to hit it before we got there, and it looks like the Erlong was able to make it there for his XP. So he's actually going to be a little bit ahead of me right now. Amaterasu's ultimate. Amaterasu is going to do 3 giant cone attacks. Each attack is going to deal a little bit more damage than the last one. The second hit will deal 20% more damage and slow the enemy. The third hit will do 40% more base damage and stun all enemies. you must hit the combos in order. So like if you miss your first shot, the second shot is not going to do the bonus damage and apply the slow. And if you miss one of the 3 shots, the final shot is not going to be a stun. So we are just sitting under tower, waiting for minions. We're kind of just waiting till we get our boots online. Amaterasu's passive. Amaterasu is going to put a debuff on an enemy after she hits them with 3 basic attacks. It's going to expose their weakness, and it's going to apply a 10% increased damage taken from all sources. It lasts for 5 seconds, and you can have a total of 3 auras out on the enemy team. Erlang knocks us up. We do have our ultimate. We're going to go ahead and ult him. He hung out way too long. Once we backed, he gave us a huge advantage, and we should be able to pick up the kill right here because of it. We just gotta not miss our kill. There we go. So now that we've gone over Amaterasu's abilities, we managed to get our first kill in this lane. Let's go ahead and talk about the build. We are going to be going into Warrior's Blessing and then Ninja Tabi. Ninja Tabi works really well with Amaterasu's passive, but I think the argument could also be made that Warrior Tabi, the bonus power on the 2, can be very effective. I personally lean towards the attack speed, but I think either option is viable. We're going to pick up our blue, switch over to our movement speed stance, get a little bit of a heal going on. Ideally, whenever we're leaving Fountain, we're going to be in our movement speed stance, and whenever we're attacking the enemy god, we'll be in our aggressive power stance. And the aura that we have from our 1 is also going to apply to our teammates. We could also give our teammates some bonus power. We can also give our teammates some bonus movement speed. Erlang is definitely getting the better end of this trade. We're going to go ahead and ult him, use our 2 on him in the wave, and then go ahead and fall back. Actually, we have a pretty fat wave advantage right here, so we are going to try to put pressure onto him. Get him to some of these minions. We're going to use our 2. We are very weak. We shoot our 2 off. He's still chasing. We're going to switch over to our speed stance, and now we should be able to get out. We're going to keep wiggling. We're trying to avoid his 2. Looks like he didn't have it. He might not have had the mana for it. So we are going to look at his build, and we can see that he's going into Void Shield. We are thinking about going into Berserker Shield, but since we looked at his build and we saw that he was going into Void Shield, I'm also going to be going into Void Shield. And here is the thought process. Erlang Shen started with a defensive item, so he's going to be completing his Void Shield and then going into boots. I already have my boots online. When comparing the Berserker Shield to the Void Shield, I'm not sure which one's going to win in the matchup. Hold on, we might be able to get our 2 off. We go ahead and ult. We're going to get a basic. He just overstayed again. Easy peasy. So, Void Shield versus Berserker Shield. Void Shield is going to give you more protections, a little bit less power, but it's also going to remove 15% of all physical protections of anyone around you. So it's an item that is going to benefit his team later on. Berserker Shield is more of a lane specific item. It would allow me to potentially win the boxing match with Erlang. I saw him going for the team item, and I thought I should match him on the team item. We're already ahead because we have a pick on him, and we have our boots. He does not have his boots fully yet, and we know he's going into the Void Shield. We're going to make our way to our blue buff. I think Berserkers or Void Shield are both viable options here. Going into some physical defense after your boots is probably a must when going against a physical god. I think Berserkers would help us beat Erlang in lane, but I think Void Shield is going to help us sync up with our team later on and deal more damage. I could be wrong, please do not quote me on that. Berserker Shield is still a relatively new item, and I'm not exactly sure if it's better than Void Shield as a second item. But we're going to be going into Void Shield. We check the price. We are just short of the gold, so we're going to hang out for another wave. We're We're really not looking to do anything other than clear the wave right here.
An ally has been slain.
So because Erlong Shen has a knockup, Stone of Gaia would be a pretty good item to buy into him. Stone of Gaia has two passives. The first one is that whenever you are knocked up, you're going to regenerate 15% of your health, and the other one is you recover 0.5% of your health every second. So Erlong has that knockup. Stone of Gaia would just be a pretty good counter to that. We get our 2 off, we're focusing onto the Erlong. We have our debuff onto him where he's taking 10% more damage. He does not have the mana. If he overstays or oversteps a little bit, we might ult him. But we're going to check for his blue buff. While we have lane pressure and a level on him, we're going to go ahead and start taking his blue buff away from him. This is going to allow us to stay in lane a lot longer. And it's going to force him to have to back more frequently. So I got my blue. I'm not really interested in what he has to say about it. So I'm just going to go back and clear the wave. And then we're going to go hit our blue buff. Our blue buff is not up, so we're going to hit the Totem of Q, tag the wave, and then go to our blue buff. We probably could have gone to our blue buff. I think if we would have walked there, it would have spawned right as we arrived. We are kind of holding our ult because Erlong Shen has a dash and he also has that heal in his ultimate. Both of those things could prevent me from getting a kill with my ultimate onto the Erlong. So we're kind of waiting for him to burn both of those things.
Our allies are in trouble.
Gaze into the mirror.
We snag the blue buff. In situations like that, there are times where I could very easily improve my Amaterasu gameplay by just making sure that I'm in the right stance when I'm attacking or when I'm moving. Right now I am in the attack stance, attacking the minions, so that makes sense.
We need to help our friends.
We're just gonna eat these, switch stances, so now we have increased movement speed. We're gonna activate our 2. We're gonna stick to the Erlong, we get our damage off. We're going to switch stances again. Now we are in the offensive stance. Now would be a good time to ult. We're going to go ahead and silence him. There is his ult. We're going to activate our 2. We're going to go ahead and ult him. He is about to receive a heal. Or it looks like we did damage to him while he was receiving that heal. Unfortunately, he is able to dash out. We're just going to clean up this minion wave. Hit the Totem of Kill. Bakasor is here, so we're going to back it up. Because Bakasor rotated over, I do not really have the early game pressure to try to invade their blue against 2 people, especially having just burnt my ultimate. So even though Bakasor is here, I don't feel like he used his ultimate very well. We're going to go ahead and dash on him. Just be annoying, not let him get the easy back. He's going to get 1 basic attack on us, but our support was able to show up. Support throws her ultimate, the Emoja wall. We miss our 2 onto the Bakasor. If we would have gotten that, he probably would be Dunzos. We get the silence on the Baka. Emoja knocks them both through the portal, and then for some reason I changed my target to the Erlong. I missed my 2 onto him, and Bakasor is able to run away. So right there, I think I definitely would have been better off trying to chase that Bakasor. I just got my ultimate. Most likely would have been able to finish a pick right there. Erlong is very weak, but we do not have any mana, so we're going to go check their mana. It looks like it is still here. Bakasor is not their jungler. Bakasor is their support. I don't know what's going on in these casual games of Smite, but Bakasor support. We are in the offensive stage, or offensive stance. Emoja is still working on this Erlong. Baka rotates in. We're going to go ahead and ult. We're trying to focus on the Erlong. We're able to get the pick. Bakasor ults us. We're going to dash out. We are in our offensive stance. The second we can switch into our movement speed stance, we will be set. We switch, and now we're out. Baka used his jump, and he's overextending. Hopefully our teammates will be able to clean him up. Even though he's pushing the Mojo, we're kind of
Be
too
right back.
out of things.
Shiny and new.
We are going
You've
to
only
make
just
our way
begun,
to this
haven't you?
tier 2 tower over in the solo lane. That way we can get the blue buff. If you teleport to the tier 1 tower and walk to the blue buff, it actually takes a little bit more time to do it from the tier 1 than it does from the tier 2.
An ally has been slain.
We drop our blue buff. So this game,
Our
we did a
allies
really
are in
good job
trouble.
of stripping away the enemy blue buff. It looks like he's about to teleport in. We have our ultimate in 10 seconds. We can either be super aggressive, or we can kind of hold on to it. We're getting our basics off, and we've already applied
Friends
our
don't leave friends
10%
behind.
bonus damage debuff onto him. We're going to use our ultimate, get all 3 swipes, we land our 2 onto him. He's absolute. He got a good root off. If we had our 2 or our 1, we'd be going in. He healed up a very decent amount right there. That is a Robin. We're going to try to wiggle out. Switch over to our movement speed stance. We get rooted, which is unfortunate. Robin's going to ult us. We're going to try to wiggle around in here. We get hit by another ability. And Robin is able to clean us up.
We'll rise up in.
So I'd say help right lane. Just let them know 2 people over there. Does not look like the help was on its way. So as a second relic, we are going to be going into Shell. And I don't know if I've ever really had this discussion about the teleport relic. Most solo laners are going for this teleport relic because if they can clear a wave, they can get back to the fountain, they can buy an item, and they can teleport back to the tower without missing a minion. If you were to back and walk back to lane, you're almost guaranteed to miss a minion. So this teleport, if you have it and your enemy does not, you will be able to be in lane for more minions. Therefore, you'll be able to get a lead. It is not necessary, but if you do not buy the teleport relic, just be aware that if the enemy does have the teleport relic, there's a good chance that they're going to have more opportunity to be in lane when the wave goes down.
Enemy missing.
Nobody in our lane. We should probably go help mid, but we're going to clear this wave first. And if we wanted to be absolutely perfect about it, we would go past the tower and clear the next wave before rotating. But there's 3 people at our tier 2 tower and mid, so we're going to work our way over there. We do have our ultimate.
Our allies are in trouble.
Bakasora looks like a fantastic
Oh, yeah.
target,
2 for 1.
but he sees me
Alright, calm
and
down
he's
already.
just outside of the range. We're going to go ahead and ult this Chang'e, even though she does have her immunity. Yeah. So we just wasted our ult. We got super excited to go after the Bakasora. Then he managed to get away. We were still super excited, so we went for the Chang'e, and it was probably
Feel my strength.
a waste of an ultimate. We're going to dash in. We get the Ravana with our 2.
Down.
Izanami is pushing pretty far in the left lane, but we're not that concerned. We have faith in our teammates to handle that.
We need to help our friends.
So after going into the Void Shield, we went into the Runic Shield. And I think because we only have the Chang'e on the enemy team to deal with, we probably did not need to go Runic Shield right here. I think that the Stone of Gaia or the Sledge would be a great item right after this Void Shield. And then you could go into the Runic Shield after that. It's just, we're getting some magical protections, reducing some magical power, which is only reducing Chang'e's power. So this item is like strictly for Chang'e. We've barely run into Chang'e this game. Uh-oh, Erling's on us, but I think we're pretty good to just get out. We're going to try to back, but he's going to step on us and not let us back so easily. The Sledge is a very good item. The 20% crowd control reduction, plus the protections and health. It's just kind of a great item, great stats. And then the Stone of Gaia is very good, and it's even favorable in this matchup against Erlang Shen because he has a knockup. I would say if I was going against a character in my lane that did not have a knockup, I would go Ninja Tabi, Void Shield, Sledge, Runic Shield. Since I'm going against a character that does have a knock-up, I think the build order should be Ninja Tabi, Void Shield, Stone of Gaia, then Runic Shield.
They were warned.
Because they have 4 physical, it might not even be worth going the full physical or the full magical item. The Sledge might have been enough protections for us to deal with that Changa. We're getting some basics onto this Erlong. If any of our teammates show up, he's going to go down. We're going to go ahead and ult. Izanami's able to clean it up. We miss our 3rd attack onto the Baka. In our defense, he did point in. We get our 2 off. We try to silence, but we hit the cripple field. I have no idea what this Bakasaur is doing right here. We get him with a basic attack. Easy peasy. We're going to focus this tower. They just have the Izanami left. Our team's going to move towards gold. We are 19, so we're the highest level in the lobby right now, which means we don't really have anyone to be afraid of. I think whenever Robin got the pick onto us earlier, he actually had a level on us. Not that it matters too much, but just saying, at that point in the time, he was a little bit ahead of me in the game. At this point in the game, he's a little bit behind. Our team was able to get the Gold Fury. We're going to clean up this wave, maybe push the next wave, go for some blue buffs. Since we got pretty much a deicide, minus the Izanami, their team is going to be spawning and most likely trickling back into their lanes. I don't expect them to group up as a 5-man team and march up mid. Yeah, Erlong went right, Izanami still probably left. So they probably dispersed. Probably didn't hit a whole lot of camps on the way. Erlong is missing, so he's either at his blue buff or he's making a rotation mid. Either way, we are going to clear this wave.
They were warned.
We're going to go ahead and push this tower. Since it's super weak, proxy the next wave, maybe invade their blue, maybe rotate mid. I did call missing right, however, I probably should have spammed it. We are not interested in trying to take out this tier 2 tower by ourselves while Izanami is getting pressured in the left lane.
Certainly.
Izanami is near us. We're going to switch. We are in our movement speed stance, so we're just going to cruise on out of here. We do have our dash. If she wants to fight us, we turn and check. We just want to make sure that we got a little bit of separation between the Erlong. We are going to go ahead and back because we have a pretty penny in the pocket. Erlong Shen is still here. He gets the root, but I dash away. Root animation ends while I've dashed away. A lot of people here. We're going to go ahead and ult. We get the stun off. We're going to pop a shell. We made a huge mistake and switched to our power stance. I thought we were in our power stance, so we were switching to our movement speed stance, but we were actually already in our movement speed stance. Having just died and having enough money for Pridwen, I think I make the realization that, like, oh, if I had Pridwen in that example 5 seconds ago, I would have survived, or had a better chance of surviving. So far, I have 0% cooldown into the build, and Pridwen is a pretty solid item for 20% cooldown, a little bit of protections, and it's going to give you that shield whenever you ult.
Your right tower has been destroyed.
Just in case you are new to Smite and you don't really know all these items or their passives, let's kind of go ahead and just do a quick rundown. Ninja Tabi is going to give you increased attack speed. The Void Shield is going to reduce the enemy's physical protections by 15%, which is going to help your team deal damage. Runic Shield is going to reduce the enemy's magical power. So Changa is the only magical power enemy on their team. Her power is going to get reduced when she's near us. The Sledge is going to provide us bonus protections based on how many enemies are near us. Up to 3. 3 is the max protections you can get. We get 3 people in mid. The Pridwen is going to give us some cooldown, and whenever we ult, we're going to get a shield that will either time out and deal some damage and explode, or will explode whenever they reduce the shield to 0. After going into Pridwen, we are going to sell our starter item and go ahead and get the Stone of Gaia. It's probably a little late for a Stone of Gaia, but I think it's a pretty strong item for solo laners right now.
Retreat middle lane.
To be completely honest, Runic Shield is probably the least needed item in this game. There's a bit of a team fight going on. We're going to dash in on this Robin. We're going to go ahead and use our ultimate. We get our 2 off onto somebody. We get our ult off onto the Robin. He's going to use his beads. We're going to switch to our attack stance. We should have been in our attack stance and switching to our speed stance. Our Pridwen shield blows up.
They're both gonna need a hospital.
We're going to dash in. Emoji gets an ult. Set gets 2 kills. Emoji gets 3. We get 1. That is a deicide. Time to march up mid lane and win this game. I feel terrible for the enemy team. The fact that we can just get this tower, get the Phoenix, and win the game, that's got to be a rough L. Anyway, if you guys enjoyed this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. If you feel like you learned anything at all, please be sure to check out the channel and subscribe for more videos. The team makes the call to attack, so we're just going to march in and clean this up. If you ever want to reach out to me, you have a Smite question, or you want to see me play a particular god, please reach out to me in the Discord server, which will be in the description down below. The stats for this game will be posted in just a second. Thank you for stopping by. I hope you have a great day. I'll catch you next time. Bye-bye.